get his stream back online. I feel bad because this is his tournament. I actually feel really bad. Get some Rift Blushes in the chat, please, guys. Can we get some Rift Blushes in the chat? There we go. Okay, we've got about 2 internets for Rifkin so far. About 3 so far. 4, 5, 6, 7. Rifkin, take our 7 internets. Stream with them. Stream 8, 9 hull internets. 10 hull internets. So many internets. Hopefully your stream comes back by the end of the game with all the internets we're giving it. 12 pools on both sides of the map. Blue Zerg, bottom right is Bly. And at the top left-hand side, our red Zerg play here is Reynor. Man, we have so many internets for Rifkin now. That's got to be enough to stream with. Unless you're streaming like 10,000p. 240 FPS. All serious note, dude. Hope it gets figured out. Hope it gets sorted. Hope you get back here. As we kick this off, Lings on Lings. 12 pool apiece on Kairos Junction now. Both of them are going to expand, so it's going to turn into a bit of a weird macro game, but it will turn into a macro game with them both expanding. Zergling's going to start coming across the map here from Reynor, heading down toward the bottom right-hand side. So right now, heading down towards the bottom right, we see a few Zerglings here from Bly as well, going to be coming in. And we just have these guys just having a little bit of a dance around. Obviously, both of them know it's a 12 pool from the fact that Overlord saw it, and now the Lings are in the middle too. And at this point, you just want to drone up. There's no point making more Lings, because you can just play defensive towards a Queen if more Lings come out from your opponent. And then if you've made more Lings, you can't do damage, and you're behind in drones. So, oh, Reynor gets the first nibble. 1 nibble to Reynor so far in this Ling-on-Ling dance in the center of Kairos Junction. Let's see a little bit of a divergence here. Reynor already got an Overlord. Bly's is a bit later, but Reynor is up a drone because he didn't start a gas yet. So an extractor on the way from Bly. Ooh, Reynor tried to split these Lings up. He sent a few of his Lings back home. Look at this. What are these Lings? Oh my god. They're going to go down. No! When they get out, kind of. 3 of them. That one Ling sacrifices himself for the other Zerglings to escape, but then they have to turn a corner. Oh my god, he's going to get away with all 3. The other Ling's trying to come forward here now as well. Reynor just trying to be annoying. As if these Zerglings survive. That was kind of funky. As you see the Lings of Reynor having a little bit of fun, poking around, prodding around, seeing what's happening. More Zerglings from Bly coming in towards the top left-hand side. So they're going to be pushing into the natural here very shortly. And as you see, the Zerglings continue to have a little bit of a fight at the moment. Actually going kind of the way of Reynor. A couple of other Lings coming in from Bly, and it's very even overall. 9 Lings lost from Reynor, 8 to Bly. Again, though, the 1 Ling difference doesn't mean Bly can attack on it or anything. And Reynor being up a couple of drones really is a big deal for him, as Bly will just try to scout. The reason there is an additional drone or 2 here from Reynor is he's mining. We did it, guys! We gave Rifkin enough internets! We saved his internets! Go us! But yeah, no gas from Reynor until just now. Means that he's obviously going to be way behind on speed, but he's been able to have more mineral mining throughout so far. Alright, so Evolution Chamber coming down the front. Roach going to be coming down here as well. As we do see the Ling Seed continue to come on up. And again, Overlord just spreading out through the top, and Overlord hanging out on the left. 16 more Zerglings on the way up here from Bly. So 16 more Lings coming in from Bly. Ling speed is coming up to completion. And again, just ready to maybe flood across the map with Zerglings. He's making quite a few. At the very least, he should be able to take a 3rd hatchery, while Reynor will not be able to take his, having no Ling speed of his own. He won't really have the map presence, and not enough Roaches for a while to really secure that. So the Lings of Bly heading towards the top left-hand side. And we do see the +1 missile attack upgrade from Reynor as well. So again, that +1 on the way. They're still coming up in the main. We're going to be seeing a few more Roaches on the way out. Obviously, Reynor needs a few Roaches just to stay safe here, and also because in 44 drones, he's fully saturated across 2 bases. So the only thing that really makes sense for him to build is he's actually one too many drones on minerals here, should have that one extra one on gas. But on full saturation, obviously you're at this point where you're basically set to just go towards the third hatchery. There's no point making more drones before that third hatch. So making the roaches to make sure you can secure it. And he's doing it in a very economic focused way, as Bly's is going to start +1 melee. So he's actually going to play a very Ling heavy style. And going to continue to play a very aggressive game. Even already building spine crawlers up, probably to help him against a potential Roach counter-attack. Obviously with Reynor already building up a lot of Roaches, there is that possibility of this turning into a very aggressive attack. Now there's a lot of Roaches with these Queens. Transfuse was missed though. Very unlike Reynor to not get that Transfuse off in time. Small mistake, costs Reynor a couple of Roaches. As you see the Roaches coming back up to the front of the natural. Spire still coming through. Getting this set up. Ling's going to dive on in towards the third base. Cancel on the hatchery. So hatchery gets picked off here. As again, Roaches of Reno will continue down to the bottom right hand side. We'll want to continue setting up to potentially attack into this now. Evo Chamber. Wall of Evo Chambers. Again, with the spines it's difficult, but then you just move towards the third base, right? And suddenly, Fly doesn't have a way to defend his third because his whole defense relies on a wall off. Spire on the way up, but losing the gases here and losing the third will obviously affect him in terms of trying to play Ling Muta because it's going to lose a lot of production. And losing that production means that obviously the Ling count will be lower, and it just makes the overall kind of play style a little bit weaker. So, not a great setup here from Bly. Obviously, Reynor's still unable to get a third hatch of his own, though, so that is a positive. It's just that Reynor's opener can do so well off of 2 hatches. Now, the only issue I would say is Reynor going towards the third base is only going to get more difficult when the mutas are here. Without creep spread on this base, you do not have spore crawlers in position. And that's actually a big issue. So the biggest thing might just be spreading this creep tumor down, getting some creep and some spores towards that third here. As the first mutant is going to be popping up in a moment. Reynor does not know about that Spire at all. He has not seen the Mutalisk just yet, as the Ling's currently running up to the top. Maybe he has a bit of a feeling about it now, having still not seen any Roaches. Starting some Spore Crawlers up, going into the Infestation Pit as his next choice as well, though. So the Infestation Pit's definitely a little bit interesting. It's not quite the immediate norm. I wonder if he's just going to try and defend this with Queens and going towards a Hive and Vipers right away. Obviously, he's completely skipping the Hydras. That's the biggest point of all of this. We're going to see Lings coming in with the Mutalisks. Trying to target down these Queens. Queens holding on with transfusions that are keeping them alive for the moment. Roaches get rid of the Lings, so now it's just Queens on Mutas. Again, the lack of a Spore Crawler over here on this third base is extremely costly. Only a couple Queens left. There's actually a third one behind here as well. Still gets a good amount of these Mutalisk kills. As we see Roaches, though, knowing that the Mutas are on this side of the map means he can get over here and actually have a big fight because there's nothing to clean up Roaches. So if these Mutas want to keep on committing, well, they just can't. They have to come home. But now there's only such a low number of Mutalisks that it's going to take forever to still deal with these Roaches. Roaches are going to target down the Spire, stop more Mutas from coming in, rather than going for drones. Reynor's lost a lot of workers, so he's got some work to do. It's tough, though, right? Because he still has to find a way to deal with Mutalisks. He's pulled them back for now. He's going to stop more from coming out. He kills the Queen, and will just kill whatever he can of these Roaches. But the economy is favoring Bly. And Bly is still just sending Lings across the map. But again, I guess it's favoring Bly, but then Bly can't make anything other than Zerglings currently. 13 Roaches out, only 2 Queens. Spores coming up on the third base. Needs to keep this third base safe. He needs these Spores to stay alive. 1 Roach being surrounded here from Reynor. As the Roaches coming over, the Mutas will be on their way over too again. Without Spore Crawlers, this base might just be dead. Might just have to give up the third. Sets it up once again. The Mutas arriving right now. Yeah, there's no way. It's way too late. Roaches are going to try and buy some time by moving out, but then realizing he's just going to lose too much, and then he doesn't have a defense on the ground, so he has to pull back. Again, Muta's trying to have a little bit of a fight here. A couple of drones moving away. That Spore Crawler is dead. Now the third hatchery will drop. He will get a chance to get Roaches across the map here. Spire on the way in. He uses the Infestation Pit for Infestors. I didn't even think about Infestors. How stupid of me. He's going to be seeing the Spore still on its way up. Drone coming over. Queen's able to pick off a Zergling. And Spore Crawler will drop down on the third base. Muta's here, able to get a few more Roach kills. Doing a pretty good job of this as more Infestors on the way out. And again, Muta's hanging out over the right side, picking up an Overlord. And still some Roaches down on the bottom. Drones, Spores currently building. See multiple roaches going down here. So 4 roaches getting picked off. Reno trying to fight back, but as the Spire comes up, more Mutalisks are going to be on the way. I mean, I guess it did deny extra Mutalisks coming in sooner. There's really just not enough queens. Trying to get roaches out to deflect the Zerglings. Just looking for the opening. There's a Spore Crawler here to protect this base. Honestly, I think the Mutalisks can just dive on one Spore Crawler, but takes an initial shot. Queen's on the way down, pretty quick to respond as well. 12 more Mutalisks on the way up. However, 5 Infestors are out. There is no Burrow. Obviously can't afford Burrow here with the lack of economy that he has. Oh, that's nice. Roach and the Ravager staying there. So, oh, he actually finds the Infestors, find the Mutalisks. Dropping a few fungal growths. Does he have much more of a follow-up to that? Not really. The Queen's on their way over. The fungals will take down just a couple of meters, not even. Now the Infestor's down on energy, and obviously Bly knows, so it's going to be less of a surprise. And more of a, well, I know how to play against this now sort of situation. Here's coming in. Well, second Spire, the question in the chat. The first Spire died, so he actually rebuilds the Spire here so he can build Mutas once again. Well, I'm going to try and dive the main. Again, the army of Reno is pretty low mobility in terms of anti-air. The Queens, the Infestors, they're not the best. He's going to start running across the map, so he wants to try and force a fight on the other side of things. He's so limited on his anti-air, though. These Infestors need to get the hell away from these Mutas, though. They need to go across the map as well. What are they doing? Infestors. Okay, well, that's game over. I mean, you lose these Infestors. 7 Infestors going down for absolutely nothing. Roaches and Ravager poking on the other side. I mean, the Queens are very, very clean upable now. I mean, you just put the meters on them. There's so many Mutalisks. It will just work out for you. These Lings could come in and surround you, though he leaves the Lings across. Reno knows it's over. Losing the Infestors just put an end to that attack straight away. And one lost and found. That was really the best, but I try. Alright, game 2 then. Let's kick this off. As down a game to the bottom left-hand side, our blue Zerg player. This is Reynor. Top right, the red Zerg, Bly. Up 1-0 in this best of 5. Reynor opening 12 pool again. Obviously last game was 12 pool versus 12 pool. Reynor goes for it back-to-back, which feels like a very Bly-esque maneuver. Reynor just really didn't have the defense against the Mutas. Really didn't know about them until way too late, and then the Queens did an okay job fighting. It was just no Spore in that third. Really cost him. And just didn't have enough there. As you see, the pool about to finish up. Reynor about to start up those Zerglings. And we'll see what he takes us into. As it is a hatchery first out of Bly on the top right-hand side of the map. Again, this is our winners match here today, guys, in the Slay Them All tournament by WardiTV. I'm going to be casting after this Goblin versus Soul. So we have this Overlord running down to the bottom left. Does expand then Reynor. First 6 Legends on the way out. Obviously, this will be seen by Bly right now, so he knows to set up for a 12 pool defense here. He needs to get those drones ready to pull down and protect the hatchery. Lings are running up to the upper right hand side. Hatch is about to finish as Lings do arrive. Going to start nibbling. And the spawning pool finishing up in the main base as well. 4 Lings, 8 Lings, 2 Queens on the way. And again, you will generally pull drones with this to try and stop the hatchery taking too much damage and being killable. So those drones are taking a long time to get down here. So this is already a half-health hatchery. And now Reynor will kite towards the other side. But he's actually going to turn and fight drones. Gets 1 drone right away. Now he's going to try and surround Zerglings. He's actually going to pick up a Zergling very quickly too. Reynor's actually taking a very good set of fights here so far. Now the Lings coming out from Bly, definitely making this a bit of a better situation for him. But 5 drones killed. Reynor's already found damage and beyond what he needs to find here. Good target fire there as well. Targets 2 low health Zerglings. Now going for a drone. It's a close story, but he ends with a solid defense from Bly on that drone. But only on that drone because he's behind elsewhere. You see Reynor has his own natural hatchery up. Reynor has a good worker camp behind this. And yeah, in terms of what was lost, resources lost 375 to 300. drones and lings lost on either side. But if we look at the income tab, you can see that Reynor's had a huge leap in income for a while. Bly will still come up 2 drones ahead though, so that is interesting to take note of. You can see some lings counterattacking in from Bly, while Reynor has more lings as well. So overall, I still like Reynor's position. I think he definitely did enough with the 12th bull. And transitioning out of this, he's looking pretty okay. He's looking pretty fine. Does lose a drone here though. Those lings are getting some damage done. That's very important. As again, this Zerglin coming down. Queen picks up the kill. Overlord coming in towards the top side. Gonna just hang out above this rock. A few more drones coming through. Evo Chamber going to drop on the natural, and Reno will begin his transition here. Now the choice is, does he go for a sling speed or does he go into other things? Bly opts to bypass sling speed for the lair. Reno decides to go straight into the Roach Warren and the Evolution Chamber. So Reno going straight into a couple of different things here than Bly is. As we do have the couple of queens going to be coming forwards right now, and again, there's the Evo Chamber. Roach Warren just a few moments away. +1 missile attack starting up from Reynor as well. 2 queens. Poke that Overlord off to the side. Good stuff so far. They're still on the way up. That single Zerglin making it in. Does see the Evo Chamber upgrade, so gets some good information there. Oh my god, that one drone pulls off, gets a shot, and the Queen will then get the kill. Rotron could still maybe start up a few more workers or so. We're going to be seeing the ling speed on the way up here from Bly. His lair's about to finish, so he's going to probably play into Mutalisks now. Delaying that ling speed just so he could speed up the tech choice in towards the lair and in towards the spire. So going through into this as we do have the up to the top side, getting set up. It's going to be hanging out to the top for a few moments. Here's a Spire, kind of as expected. He throws a Rotron down too, just in case he needs to build Roaches to help him defend. Again, Bly just going to rely on the meters to try and pick up this win as we get this underway. Again, Spire dropping down behind the mineral line. You're going to be seeing all of these Zerglings coming around the right and just running around. Obviously, as Bly in this game, you've got that ling speed and you have the map control almost with the lings in the meters. So trying to deny a third base would be big. Roaches will pull back for the Zerglings, and Reno will have to come up here to defend this. He's only just gotten his lair, Reno, so actually, even though he's already got +1 missiles, he does not have the Roach speed available. He does not have the Roach speed available. As the Roach is just going to be, again, gathering up on the third. On the top, we see a single Roach poking its way through the hatchery. 9 Mutalisks about to pop out. And Bly will start to get into that style from the last game that really sent him into a great spot. But Reno this time has that creep on this third base already. By getting the creep already onto the third, Spore Crawlers can come down. Can potentially, obviously, help massively in the defense. You see a Spore in the main and the natural so far. Reynor knows about these meters, adding on extra Spore Crawlers as well, and going to start gathering up those queens to try and play deflection. Roaches deflect the Zerglings for the moment though, so again keeping himself safe, and I wonder if again he's going to try and go for the play in towards the spire. I wonder if he's going to play in towards the play from the with the infestation pit and the infestors rather than a set of Hydralisks. We're going to see Bly jumping on top of these queens. Man, what is Reynor doing? Like, he's just got queens all over the place. He's out in the middle trying to take fights against Mutalisk that he just can't win. Like, there is just not really a good situation. He moves across the map with the... he moves across the map with the... Roaches just to buy time. Oh man, this is tough. Overseer gets taken down. Queen's coming in on the left, able to pick that off. Roach is still being pushed away by those Mutalisks all the way back down to the bottom left-hand side. We're still chilling out. Hello everyone in the chat that's coming in new, by the way. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you. Welcome. We just pushed away again from the third base. Roaches from Bly continuing down the right-hand side, ready to push up in towards the third hatchery. As again, the Mutas just looping around, seeing where they can go. I mean, again, this game Bly did it a bit differently. Didn't keep building Mutas and Lings, but instead built into Roaches. But I mean, that kind of works when you come in, snipe the third hatch, and get out of there, losing what, like 2 Roaches or something? Reno is in so much trouble. Like, okay, I mean, Reno's got a +2 upgrade over +1. Great. But with a third hatchery down, not only is Bly going to be mining a lot more, Bly is going to be able to produce a lot more. And that is going to be absolutely just essential to his plan of taking down Reynor here at this point. As he's gotten himself far ahead, he's got himself in a good position. Reynor's going to start pushing. The last thing Bly should do now is fight too soon. If anything, he should definitely wait for the Mutas to come along. They will help to clean those Roaches out. And Reynor realizes it as well, so he has to pull back. Reynor is not having a very good time at the moment here in this game number 2. We're just pulling back a little bit as well. Hydra's then about to finish up here from Reno. Again, that Carapace still coming in. Muta's hanging around on the bottom side, going to come forwards, and the Queen just having the Queens to back it up. So Reno will stay alive, but he's really making... Bly's really just making it difficult for him to stay alive. Bly's about to hit +2 missiles, and when he does, I'm pretty sure these Roaches are going to run in and try and just overwhelm Reynor. I mean, just now getting a few Hydras on the way up. Lurker den as well. If you can get to Lurkers, this game very well could turn around, but I don't see this getting to Lurkers is the issue. That, you know, that's what I don't quite see happening here. Queen's pulling back over to the right. We see the Mutas continue to fight onto that Overlord, getting a good few shots off, a few spines on the way. Roach is pulling back and going to be picking up a few of these drones, so getting quite a few workers killed. And Roach is coming around to the right-hand side. Bly just waiting for the chance to hit. I mean, this is really nice. Reno's actually putting Bly behind on workers by about 12. Just needs to survive right now. Let's see if Reno can. He does have some Ravagers, something that Bly doesn't have in his army. With the Hydras as well, Reno will push this back for the moment, so he might survive to see Lurkers. 10 more Mutas though from Bly, realizing that maybe he has an opportunity just to overrun Reno before more Hydras are out. Let's see if that works. At the moment, Reno's held on. And that's obviously huge. Bly just now going back into drones, so he's actually been sat behind on workers for a little while. Income advantage drops heavily into Reno's favor for the first time since, what, the 3 or 4 minute marker, since that 12 pool opening. And he was obviously then forcing drones to pull off the line to keep the hatchery alive. Bly trying to morph in a few Ravages as well. These Roaches get found. Reno ran a little bit too deep into them there before they turned it around and got out. A couple Lurkers morphing in, but only a couple. Not going overboard, which is actually really nice because with more Mutas being made, he actually does kind of need the extra Hydras. So extra Hydras on the way up, and, well, probably just realizes, I guess the idea is, you only need a couple Lurkers to tilt this fight into your favor defensively. You don't need a ton of them, and that will be just fine. Especially if your opponent doesn't have a ton of Roaches, because you yourself are obviously, you know, because he is making a bunch of Mutas instead. So Reynor with some very good information about what Bly is building, and a very good response to it, although losing drones and a 4th hatchery with the Mutas and then mobility really just being a little bit too much at the moment. Mutas will be back up in toward the center. Roaches and Ravagers coming in from the right. +2 flyer attack coming in on the Spire. Couple of Ravagers going down, and Nelly grabs a little bit of something. We do see Bly going to continue down in towards the 3rd base. Lurkers here obviously right away doing quite a nice job. Oh, nice reburrow as well. And the Overseers are actually pushed away, so you actually can't clean up the Lurkers either. This army is low. Reno will dodge away from the Biles, but he is completely turning this game around. Bly is having some trouble closing this out. Well, maybe the Mutas with their high numbers can get something done. Jumps into the main. Spores already taking a little bit of damage here. One Mutalisk goes down, another Muta taking damage as well. Drones probably going to be continue to drop. Well, Reno just goes for a big counterattack. Says, well, you know what, buddy, if you want to base trade me, you can try and base trade me, but I mean, the Mutas will only do so much as a whole bunch of extra spores come up on this base. Oh my god, the spores will just decimate Mutalisks. A lot of Mutas going down across the map. Obviously, Bly does not have any sort of defense. So it really is a case of, can these Roaches kill off enough spores to let the Mutas come in? Well, so far, yes they can actually. They've killed off quite a few. And the Mutas coming back in here now will be able to pick those couple off. Reno's building more and more Roaches. I think he needs to come in and build more and more Spore Crawlers on this base right here. Reno is out of money. I mean, obviously he can send the Hydras back home as well once he feels as though he's done enough cleaning up on this other side. Bly has tons of money. He pulls drones down to the bottom right so he can run around and hide bases for days upon days. So in terms of actually being eliminated by a loss of buildings, that's very unlikely. As you see, the Queen and the Spore Crawler here will, again, just not really cut it for very long. Although, again, a couple of spores together actually do a pretty good job of this. And the Hydra coming in from the back as well. This mutant count's going down and down and down. The further down it falls, the more manageable it becomes. Hydra's coming in from the back as well to help out. It's still not obviously like, oh my god, you've got no mutants left at all bad. There is still 13 of them, but it's getting towards that point. And obviously Reno can still pull back home and somewhat defend his structures and then begin to rebuild drones. While Bly does have drones alive, they're obviously not mining. One of the big things though is if Reno could keep this Hydralisk den alive, that would be even better. Bly just turns into the Hydras and he's going to GG. I think he knows eventually. He does. The patient there is just BRB a moment and just answering a quick question when I got back. We have got to the top left-hand side our blue Zerg fighting back there in that last game. Reynor. And this time he will not 12 pool for the first time in this series. But his opponent will 12 pool. Bly, the red Zerg, bottom right, trying to open 12 pool. And let's see if he can be as successful as Reynor was with the 12 pool opening on Cerulean Fall. Hi guys, what is the new thing to link War Chest to Twitch? Once you have bought a War Chest, which you can do through !War Chest, use my affiliate link, you get no money off, but it does support the stream a little bit. I get a percentage of every sale, so do check that out, !War Chest. Once you've bought your War Chest, you can, and this is going to be a Spine Crawler Rush drone pull, by the way, you can of course, gain XP by watching the stream. Check that out. Do you see the few drones moving across the map then? We do see the Lings coming along with it. Hatch, gas, and pool from Reno. So he knows about this for the first time now-ish. Okay, now he definitely knows. He sees these other drones. So Reno knows what's happening, and it's time for him to try and defend. He did put the spawning pool all the way over here, which means it's very exposed to spine crawlers building next to it. And as we see how it's going to go then, first drones come up, spines will go down. And obviously the Zergling's coming along with this as well. Now Reno immediately builds one spine in the background here. And these spines here made it very difficult for Reno to run down the low ground. Bly builds a evolution chamber as well. Ooh, gets us surrounded with these drones. Decides that's not actually a good fight for him. Wants to wait for his own Zerglings. Trying to buy a little bit of time here, Reno. He's taking so much damage already, though. Trying to micro against this is not easily done. Okay, now he's going to come over. He wants to try and fight towards the spine crawlers. Lings not really having the best of time so far. A couple of Lings starting to nibble on a spine crawler. As Bly pulls away a little bit, we're going to be seeing... Well, Reno still has his own spine crawler, remember, but he's going to lose his spawning pool. When you have 3 spines up, it becomes very difficult to defend this. Queen has to pull back as well. The spine will press forwards. Lings are going to have to come in with this and try and break through, I think, because he's not going to win the spine crawler war. Here you go, Lings and drones pulling as well. His own spine just goes down so quickly, though. And that is the issue. Bly is going to, I think, clean this up just with the drones. Well... He only has... Well, he obviously has drones still back at home, and the spines will kill everything, man. The spines are just too good. And that is going to be GG from Reynor. Bly has too much. Wins the game on free supply against 6, but spines in your opponent's base is... Holy shift. To the bottom left-hand side, our blue Zerg up 2-1 in this best-of-5 ZvZ winners match. We have ourselves Bly. Top right, our red Zerg player. This is Reynor. What's my MMR? Not worth talking about. I have dropped 600 MMR the last few days while trying to play the game. I'm done. I just can't play StarCraft anymore, I've decided. It's not quite 600, it's like 400 MMR I dropped. Not fun at all. I honestly have been really trying to get into playing StarCraft again, but it's so difficult. I'm streaming and casting so much, it feels like I barely have time to play. And when I don't have time to play, my game just gets so bad. You know, my game goes so awful so quick, so I'm really bad right now. I'm pretty much the worst I've been for like... the worst I've been for like a long time. Like... I don't think I've been this bad at StarCraft for like 2.5 years maybe. Which feels pretty bad. Yay. 12 pool expand this time around from Bly. We have those lings going to head across towards the upper right side. Gonna be coming through. Ling's gonna be looking to nibble down that hatchery, so deal some damage already. A few extra Lings on the way out from Reno, of course, his first ones as he pulls down the low ground of the drones instantly. Notice how when Bly defended against this, he was a lot slow on bringing his drones down to the low ground. Again, this is all about buying time, so you keep the hatchery healthy. Reno not giving Bly a chance to kill any drones either, just poking in, pulling out. Look at this. He's always pulling to the side of those Lings as well. By pulling to the side, he doesn't have all the Lings attacking at the same time. Bly's going to dive for the hatchery. This is going to get very close. It will go down. Because Bly absolutely everything, Reno will be able to rebuild the hatch pretty much immediately. And obviously Bly, having lost all the Zerglings and not killed any Lings, will be under threat of a counterattack. So that's what Reno's going to do now with these Lings moving straight across the map. Lings continuing down to the bottom left. Yeah, my MMR right now is complete shit. It's like 4.6k. It's really trash. Like, I've not been this bad at StarCraft for so long. I'm kind of embarrassed by it, but I just can't seem to find the passion to get better again. Like, every time I play, I get tilted at how bad I am, and all of a sudden it becomes a real just negative evening. I don't have fun. It's a little shitty. So yeah, I've not struggled this much in StarCraft for a long time. I don't really like the meta for how Terran plays and my style at the moment, so sucks a little bit. Anyways, just gonna be seeing these few Lings of Bly coming over. And speed on the way up here from Reynor, getting that going. And again, these few Lings of Bly just pushing the Lings of Reynor away out into the center. So Reynor getting pushed away out through the center. Extractor coming down. Bly is up 9 workers, man. Reynor is just making Zerglings. He's just gonna try and go for a counter Ling flood to try and get back in this. He's making a ton of Lings, and it's all or nothing. It was all or nothing. Bly needs to try and find a wall off here. He's just going to be hanging out. Other Lings coming in from Bly as well. Going to be moving forwards. Here we go. Ling speed kicks in. And just going to be coming in for a full surround on those Zerglings. Able to pick up those kills. And Reynor will just go across the map. So now Bly knows he can start to wall off. Oh, this is an awful wall off, though, because he doesn't have a creep tumor here. So he can't wall off straight across. So he has to give this Evo Chamber a ton of area. That's going to be the Evo Chamber Reynor will just dive onto instantly, because he'll get so much damage onto it. Then he can kill this Evo Chamber. Well, for the moment, he actually just backs away, starting up some drones. I actually thought he'd go a little bit more hardcore on this. Is that because he's going to make some Banelings? He does have a Bane there, so maybe he wants to make some Banes here. He kind of makes Bly think he's sort of safe, and then boom, Banelings out of nowhere. Ling's going to keep on fighting this Queen at the front. It's getting a bit low. Getting very close. The other Queen pushes itself into position. Another transfuse. Bly will back, or Reynor, sorry, will back away. It's not every day you see Reynor being the aggressor like this. 2 more Banes on the way up. More Lings coming out. Reynor's equaled up the worker count. Bly going into a little bit more here. That Roach drone is very vulnerable. That's actually maybe what he's going to bust down with the Banes, because if the Lings get in for a full surround, that's huge. And this Roach drone is so low at the moment. Let's see. There you go. The Banes are seen by Bly. He'll know what's coming in. The Lings go through. He makes way for the Banelings. They crash into the Queen, into the Roach drone. The Roach drone will go down. The Lings from Bly, though, have been stacking up for a little while. Reynor will pull away. He's got 2 more Banes morphing currently, but they are not going to gain access with this Evo Chamber wall off. unless these extra Zerglings can maybe do something about that. He's running around in the main base. His Bane's almost ready to go. He's going to break down this Evo chamber. He needs his Banelings really, really badly. But another wall-off comes in from Bly. The Queen goes down. The Baneling comes through. Bly, no! Oh my god, the Baneling finds a ton of Zerglings there. That's a huge connection. Absolutely crazy stuff. Big, big loss. As we see the +1 missile attack from Bly. Still on the way up, just about halfway done. 12 Zerglings coming out here. And Bly heading across the upper right-hand side. Well, Reynor did take a work lead from this as he loses his own Zerglings to Banes here. That +1 missiles is actually coming up on the one of the few Evo chambers still alive. Reynor trying to get towards the third hatchery. Banes will help him take it. It's just the fact that Bly, I guess he doesn't have a Roach run anymore, but with the +1, if he does get Roaches up, that's obviously a huge lead for him. Zerglings of Bly still pressing forwards. These Lings of Reynor have to pull away. Again, there's the Roach run coming down in the back of the natural mineral line, so getting that set up here. And as you do see the Queen nibbling its way through that Overlord right now. Another couple of Lings getting picked off. Overlord's still going to fall in the next few moments. +1 missiles finishing. That is, again, the biggest thing that Bly has at the moment here, although he might get the third hatchery too. Banes will obviously try and shut that down. Bly has a couple of Lings to nibble. His own Bane's about to be ready to go again. He really needs to get rid of some of these Banes. He's making no progress at all at the moment. Those Banes go right up towards the hatchery, so if they go down, at least they can maybe splash onto it a bit. In the end, Bly's backed away. Reno counter-attack. 2 drones already dead. Going for a couple more. Hits the mineral line. Again, dealing quite a bit of damage so far here, guys. Reno having a very good time with this as these Zerglings also coming out the front to see what's next. They're going to head across through the bottom. Now we see Roaches on the way up from both sides, but again, you've got to remember Bly has that upgrade, and that will go a huge way to helping him out here. A huge way to helping him out. Queen gets surrounded, goes down pretty quick. Lings over on this side going to be hitting this hatchery as well. Well, Reno needs to do something, I feel, but these Roaches coming out. I mean, Bly might just go straight across the map and look to end this game because he is on low work account. He may just want to just shut this down and just go, go, go. Reno with the Roach production to try and stop him. Will it be enough? Ling's on the way up from Bly as well. Definitely looking to reinforce a big push across. He can obviously morph Ravages in with his excess gas. Zerglings over here. Gonna pop out. A couple of Banes will look for drones, and they will find a couple. Honestly, any drone losses hurts for Bly at the moment, even if he is just going to commit to a large amount of aggression. Because it means that if he doesn't quite kill Reynor, every single drone he's lost is one less drone that he's going to have to transition out of this. Here we go. Bly pushing across the map. Reynor coming through. Will corrosive power Baneling right away. That gets cancelled. Biggest deal here is still that +1 missile upgrade. Remember that as these armies fairly even on supply come in against each other. +1, and I mean the Lings are kind of good in this scenario as well because the Lings really do protect the Roaches and the Ravages of Bly quite nicely, but then he just sits around. He doesn't really do anything for a few moments. So Bly making some mistakes. The Banes though get towards the Roaches. They are going to blow up in a couple of moments. Those Roaches super low HP. Roaches and Ravages continue to come in here from Bly as a couple of corrosive balls coming down to try and ward Reynor off. Bly is just a few moments away from having more Lings coming across to reinforce, but he's losing Roaches by the minute. And this is really costing him. He has a couple more biles coming down. Will buy him a second or two, but Reynor is starting to overwhelm, and Reynor looks like he's about to make this happen. A few more biles as Reynor will just walk through them. He's eager to get on top of this army. He's really eager to get on top of this army. Roaches and Ravages coming down towards the third base. Zerglings coming up as well. Bly taking some damage here. Reynor with the surround as well. Roaches and Ravages still just coming through. Corrosive Bile hits a couple of Zerglings. More Ravages coming across. Oh, just needs to dodge away from those Biles there. Good job. Bly still doesn't have enough units despite his upgrade lead. Lings going across the map. Banelings go and kill all of them, so the counterattack is ineffective. And that third hatchery of Bly gets killed. Sick of these Zergs where my Terran's at. The next series up is Goblin versus Soul in the losers match. And that will be coming up in just a few moments because Reynor takes it down Wardy show the income graph. I mean, we have got to the top left-hand side of the map. Our blue Zerg player, he was just in the lobby. He should be 3-0 by now, but he keeps making mistakes. Honestly, I don't disagree. He definitely should have had that game number 2, I think. Top left, our blue Zerg player. No 12 pool for the first time from either player in the series. This one is Bly to the top left. Bottom right, it's Reynor. He's definitely being pressured here in the ZvZ. Hatchery dropping down on the natural. Overload coming across, drones coming in. Well, a very standard ZvZ then, guys. What happens here? Huh? This is not what we've been seeing so far. Gas pool versus pool gas, very minor difference, really. Not influential at all. Apart from, there's a few moments where maybe you have link speed as blind, not as Reynor, but shouldn't make, again, unless Reynor's been a little bit overly aggressive, shouldn't affect him all too much. You guys enjoying the stream today, just as we have a bit of a slower opening in this ZvZ. I just want to say thanks for tuning in, first of all. I really appreciate you guys dropping by. It's been a really fun day so far. Do you consider following the stream? We just hit 35k followers like last night, but we are well on the way past that. So keeping on growing, keeping on going. So thank you so much if you've already followed. And if you tune into the stream today, you haven't watched the channel before, or you haven't followed already. If you're enjoying what you're hearing, enjoying what you're seeing, this is an event by WardiTV, but we cast StarCraft very regularly. We've run a lot of our own tournaments too, so do check that out. And, yeah. Yes, you do get War Chest XP for watching this stream, Braska. So obviously hit that follow button. If you're really enjoying, obviously the options are always there to subscribe, donate, share, etc. If you're a Twitch Prime user, consider using your Twitch Prime sub. All of it helps us to keep on streaming, casting, and content producing full time. Greatly appreciate all the support. As you do have the +1 melee opening from Bly, so he changes things up a little bit here. All we have to do is link it. Yes, once your war chest is linked, or your account is linked with Twitch and you've given it permission and you own the war chest, all you have to do is link it. And every 20 to 30 minutes, it'll say claim experience. You have to claim experience every 20 or 30 minutes, otherwise it will not continue to grant you experience. It's basically just an AFK check. It's just so you don't leave a stream on overnight, and basically your war chest is completely leveled up, right? It's just making sure that you're still paying something of a bit of an attention to the channel, so... Again, that's exclamation mark war chest if you want to buy from my affiliate link. And otherwise, hopefully I've answered your questions. Otherwise, I'll have to leave it to other people in the chat to help you out, because right now we got to talk about this game. It's getting interesting. Link speed from Reno means he will get in and he will see the Evo chamber, so he will know there's a fast melee or carapace upgrade, although melee is definitely the way to go about it. So melee about 75% of the way done. How do you check how much XP do you have? You have to open the game. Yeah, you have to open the game if you want to check how much total XP you have. But every time you claim experience, it's 50,000. So if you know how many times you've claimed, then you should roughly know how well you're doing. Again, link speed dropping down here from Bly, getting going. +1 melee is about to finish. Baneling nest coming up here as well. Across the map, third hatchery coming down. Zerglings from Reynor are running up the left side of the map as well. Poised to strike here as they are looking to jump onto that hatch. Is it difficult to get skins from the war chest? It's easy. You literally just have to watch the stream. Literally just have to watch the stream. Zerglings running in, going to find these queens from Bly being a little bit overly aggressive, trying to catch an overlord. His own lings were running around the right side, so he loses 1 queen, 2 queens, and make that 3. Nice pickoffs here by Reynor. Very good pickoffs, very nicely done. And we are going to be seeing Reynor continuing back through into the center of the map. A queen on the way up, some banelings on the way up, and continuing to set into this. Reno pulling back all the way to the left side. Third hatchery from Bly coming in as well. As Modi JM in the chat says, just got the war chest for your stream. Love the stream, Wardy. Thank you so much, as Modi. Appreciate the support, dude. Thank you so much. If you guys all support the war chest for my stream, let me know. I'd love to hear if you did or not. I'd love to hear it. Yes, we are completely live today. I am Terran Mech God. Completely live at the moment. Do you get any notification when you receive the war chest XP? The extension will pop up and say claim XP, and you'll have to click claim to keep on collecting more. So that's essentially your notification. 4 drones go down as a little bit of a counterattack goes into Reynor's natural. Ling's surrounded now the third base of Bly though. And despite the fact Bly has the +1 melee, Reynor's been the one who's been so much more effective with his Zerglings throughout this game. We'll get a couple of Lings there. We'll try and get that drone. Goes on towards those Banes. And wow, I mean, Reynor just going into melee upgrades of his own. His Carapace about to finish, +1 melee about to finish. And Aspire from Bly is actually not going to come up too quickly here as Reynor continues to work this through. Both the Banelings cancel. Queen just still taking a little bit of damage here. Is about to be broken down. A couple more Banes are going to be ready. Ling's trying to block this area off as we see Morphin and Banes from Reynor. Realize he's got potential to keep being aggressive at the moment. Banes could go off here though, I think, and blow up those morphing Banes. Oh my god, that's actually a wall off. These Banes are walled in because of these other Banes morphing. What an annoyance. No, the Bane's finished. 12 drones go down from Bly. The third hatch goes down again. He's going to expand on the left side too, but the 12 drones is just huge amounts of damage here. Well, the one thing Reynor has to be careful of is those Mutalisks. He's lost to Mutalisks earlier today, multiple times over in fact. He needs to be careful now. If anything, just make sure you have the defense. I don't think he necessarily knows about it yet. Okay, he has. He's seen the Spire, so he does know about it. Then he just has no reason not to be prepared for it. Reynor's about to take an upgrade lead on the Ling Bane as well, by the way. +1 Carapace is done and +1 melee of his own is seconds away from completing. That's going to make this an even more one-sided fight in favor of Reynor on the ground, because the first Mutas start to come up here. Starts to attack that hatchery, pulls back, waits for his own Banelings, sends them in, and it is pretty destructive. Not really much left over. The last Bane of Bly goes down. He's going to lose the third hatchery again, and he is taking so much damage. Bly is probably going to drop down to the decider match here, which will be played after that Goblin Soul series. This was a really long ZvZ, actually. This is a really long ZvZ, considering the second series of the day was so fast. This series really took some time. It's been fun, action-packed, back and forth as well. Now there's just Lings all over the mineral lines, though, and Bly is just losing so many workers. Obviously, Reynor has seen the Mutalisk. All he has to do is set up a defense, overbuild Spore Crawlers or whatever you want, honestly, because at this stage, 17, now 10 drones to 60. Bly taps out. He actually doesn't even GG. That's very unlike Bly.